In this video, we're going to learn how to make some navigation bars. First, you want to choose the div you want to place it. Usually they're at the top. Then you're going to start with an unordered list. If you open a div or a tag, you want to close it. So I started with UL for unordered list. For each item in your list, you would do an LI. And we're going to link ours to things like our home page and our classes page. And you would continue on until you got all of your list items added. The next step is you want to go ahead and put a class into the UL so that we can style the list items just in here. I'm going to call mine nav. And then we're going to start adding hyperlinks because this bar is going to be at the top of all of our pages. ahref equals quotation marks index.html quotation marks, close the caret. Then you're going to go to the end of the word home and close the A tag. And you're going to continue that for the other three links. Now that they're all finished, you'll notice over here that they have showed up as an unordered list. The next thing we want to do is run a hyperlink check to make sure there are no mistakes in the code. So you're going to go to Site, check link site-wide. At that point, I'm going to click down here to run a check. And we want to do broken links. You're going to notice I have some broken links to my portfolio pages and to my classes, so I need to make sure that I have those files. Portfolio is a new file that you need to create, so go ahead and just do a file new and name it portfolio. So to make my portfolio, I'm going to go ahead and just do file, save as on my index, and in the main folder I'm going to call it portfolio. We're going to use this in the next lesson. And if you rerun that link check, that should work. Once you have all of the links working, now you're going to copy this to all of your pages. So select the UL, copy it, and open all of your main pages in the My Site and paste it. So this is my band page under the opening body tag. I'll paste that in, then open my classes. Now you're going to open up all of your review pages and paste in the code, except for we have to add a ... because the review pages are in a different folder. Next thing you want to do is run a hyperlink check to make sure that all of these are working. File, check page, links, and then if you see any broken links, you want to get that fixed. Now select this list, you're going to copy it and paste it on all of your other review pages. Now I'm going to do some styles for my navigation bar. So I'm going to add in a comment code and then add my styles below. I'm going to start by UL, which stands for unordered list, .nav. So I'm going to style my unordered list with the name nav. First thing I want to do is so we're going to add list style type none. If I click over here, you'll notice that the bullets went away. At this point, we want to remove any default padding and margins. So I'm going to do padding 0, margin 0, and that gets rid of any extra space. And then you guys can go ahead and add in a background color. Make sure it matches your banner. For right now, I'm just going to grab a color . And that is the start of getting our list to look more like a navigation bar. Next up, we're going to float all of our LIs, our list items. So we're going to do a float : left. And I went ahead and added ul.nav so that we only float LIs that are in the unordered list with the name nav. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to type float : left. And you'll notice that they all moved side by side, but they still need some more styling. Now we're going to style the hyperlink. To do that, we're going to add the A. So we're saying only style hyperlinks that happen to be inside of an LI that also happens to be inside of an unordered list with the name of nav. Now if you just included the A, it would still work, but it would also style all the other hyperlinks on your page. Display block is going to make the entire area clickable instead of just the text. Color changes the font. Text align center will center it. Padding top and bottom, right and left will give you space around the link so it looks more like a button. And text decoration none removes the underline. First thing we're going to do is add display : block. So we're styling our hyperlink. That's A. I added these other items just to make sure that it only styled hyperlinks that were inside of LIs that were also inside of a UL named nav. We're going to do display : block, and this will make the whole area clickable. If you notice, the links are kind of close together, so we're going to go ahead and add some padding. And I'm going to do maybe 14 pixels on the top and bottom and 16 pixels on the right and left. We'll see what that does, and that spreads them out. Now let's add a background color so we can see them better. And again, you want to use a color that matches your color scheme, so just get that color scheme generator that you had been using. Just going to quickly grab a color. And you'll notice if I move this up here, you can kind of see the red text looks kind of bad, so I'm going to go ahead and add in color : white. And again, I can change this later to match the color scheme a little bit better. To get rid of that underline, we can do text decoration none. Next, we're going to add a hover effect so that when we hover over our nav bar, that it will change colors. It looks kind of confusing. You could technically just put hover, but it would style every link on your page like that. So we're going to say only add a hover effect to links that are inside of an LI that are also inside of an unordered list with the name nav. So first I'm saying only style things that are inside of my unordered list named nav, only style things that are inside of an LI, and then here's where I add the hover effect. So this is the selector you need for hover effects. Add a curly brace, and here's where we can do background color. And again, you can pick a color that kind of matches your color scheme, probably something light. And I may have to change my text color if I can't see it anymore. For right now, I'm just going to do black. I'll change that later. And then now let's preview to see what we've got. So when I go to hover, I notice that my text is getting really large. So you might go and check your style sheet to make sure you don't have a hover effect someplace else that's affecting it. And I do right here. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that style because I don't really want large text on my hover effect. And now you'll notice that it has fixed the problem and it's no longer making it larger. It's not allowing me to show you right now in this preview, but it is in fact working whenever I stop the screencast. The last thing you guys need to do is make sure you test, and test some more, so make sure this works on all your pages. You run a hyperlink check and make sure that you got a nav bar on every single page. So here's my new portfolio page. My nav bar is there. Title's there. Now I'm going to go down to the bottom where I can run those hyperlink checks. I can do a file, check page, links, and right now it just says I have a broken link to classes because if you look over here in my files, I don't actually have a classes page. If you all do have a classes page and it's hidden in the review, just drag it out to the open. Do this check for all of your pages until there are no broken links and you can get from one page to the next.